We're at the Bear Track Arnett Gold Project located in eastern Idaho. This is the founding asset for the company, now 4.6 million ounces of gold discovered. And of course, we're advancing on the first phase heap leach project, which takes advantage of all the infrastructure we have here, power line into site, roads, all of the existing data, and in fact, an ADR gold processing facility on the other side of me here. But the next phase of this project is really to go underground. And so the exploration this year is focused on expanding our target, now 5.5 kilometers of strike, with another 2 kilometers stretching south to be tested this year with our drill program. It's a relatively modest program, about 4,000 meters of drilling, but we're really excited about what this could do for the company and what it can do for the exploration potential and the story around this asset. The geological system at Bear Track Arnett is an orogenic gold system. So these can be very big systems, both laterally and going at depth. We've drilled now in this system over a depth of about 750 meters, but that strike length of 5.5 kilometers it can be expanded as well. The land position is such that we can continue for another 5 kilometers on the structure. And that can be catalytic for the company, because as we think about the next phase of growth at Bear Track Arnett, we'll go from open pit heap leach to the underground. The underground system is a vertically orientated shear zone. It seems to be quite pervasive. We've got a high-grade core to the system and then a lower-grade halo of mineralization. The current underground resource is about 1 million ounces of about 4 grams per ton gold. And within that higher grade core of mineralization seems to be pervasive and extend and is open to the south and at depth. So the drill program this year is targeted really to expand on the strike length of mineralized zone, the structure that's permissive for these big deposits of underground mineralization. So we're stepping out about 2 kilometers to test that potential. But we will also look in the Joss area where we've intersected in the past 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 grams per ton gold over really decent mining widths in the order of 5, 6, 7, 8 meters of underground width. So this is the kind of thing we want to track, continue to explore, and show potential for a whole lot more on this project. The story of the revival at Revival Gold and the name, the origins of the name, really start with our focus on brownfields projects here at Bear Track Arnett in Idaho, but also at our Mercer project in Utah. It's also the revival of a team that's done it before, having discovered, constructed, operated, and delivered value to shareholders through gold mining in the past. Finally, of course, we've got the revival of the gold price, and this has been a phenomenal story for investors, in particular over the last 6 or 8 months, and we think that's going to continue. That's the revival at Revival Gold.
All right, so we just drove in. We drove from the south end. Our drill rig that we just visited is actually south of this mapped area, chasing this structure, the Coiner Fault, probably about where my finger is. We had lunch at the core shack, which is sitting right here near the old heap leach, which you can see in the background on the way up. When we drove back up across, we drove across a big placer workings before the bridge over Napius Creek. So that would be the Joss area. That's the area we're going to draw deep exploration holes, looking for some extensions of the underground sulfide mineralization in that area. As we chase that structure up, one of the questions in our truck was, well, where is that structure last exposed? It's last exposed in the south pit, which is just over the hill, just to the south of you here. In that area, that structure is a large brittle fault, the Panther Creek Fault, with a strongly developed myelinite called the Panther Creek Shear Zone, which occurs dominantly in the Rapakivi granite. That Rapakivi granite forms kind of the break between the Panther Creek Fault continuing on to the north, and then the north pit mineralization occurs actually within that rock, within that host rock, which is what you can see the boulders of around you. Mineralization does extend over about a strike length of 5 kilometers where it's known, from the Joss mineralization to another occurrence that's north of the hill here called Moose, with higher grade pockets occurring at structural intersections and bends in this fault. So right now we're sitting right about here. We're sitting looking at the North Pit mineralization, which again is mostly hosted on this side of the fault, and the fault's dipping right down into that high wall that you're seeing in front of you. That fault does kind of bend around and go out the south end of that pit where you see that grayer colored rock there. There's myelinites actually exposed in that wall. And that mineralization came up and then actually occurs on both sides of the fault in one of the rare places right there in that little pitlet there that they call the Mason-Dixon pit. One of the reasons that that might be taking place is we do have a number of cross faults or cross structures that occur in this canyon. Those structures continue bound back up that canyon there and have historic workings with gold mineralization and ductile deformation zones within that structure. So we're generally chasing this fault, this Panther Creek fault, but as we talked about in the core and in the area, it's not just one plane, it's really a shear zone that's continuing on through this area with braided structures that come together and splay apart, and those higher grade zones of mineralization that we chase are often where those intersections occur.